Bread is a top food. It's like one of the elements of the periodic table, right? Gold, aluminium, iodine, bread. It's one of the elements of everything. Yeah? Like Captain Planet, remember that? It was a good show back in the day. So water, fire, bread. Bread. It's everywhere. Everyone loves bread. Try and imagine a world without bread, mate. It's the one snack everyone has in the house. Everyone's got it. If you're sitting here watching this video, or listening to this video, watching this video, yeah, and you ain't got bread in the house, I'm assuming that you're a dog. But then, even if you're a dog, I suppose you'd be in a house of humans. If you're in a house of humans, you've got bread, right? Bread literally goes with everything. Butter. Butter, yeah, bread and butter. Solid snack. Solid, quick snack, bread and butter. Nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. And then you got a bit more time. It just gets more elaborate. Cheese, pickle, ham, lettuce, coleslaw. Anything goes on bread. You can even have, when I used to go back to scout camp, we used to do this thing where we used to dip our bread into milk and egg mixture, pan fry it, and then with some jam. So it was like a sweet thing. That was like a top pudding for camp. Do you know what I mean? You got bread and basically anything else in your house, you got a meal there, mate. I think people don't always put enough respect on bread's name, to be honest with you, right? Because a lot of time, like with sandwiches, the main bit is the filling. The filling is like the Brad Pitt. Like the ridiculously handsome actor, subpar actor sometimes. He's quite hit and miss with his films, isn't he? Sometimes it's like, oh, he's well good. And other times you think, well, it's alright. The thing is with Brad Pitt, is like, even when he's doing a bad job of acting, he's still watchable. The only time is sometimes his accent is like legit distracting. That's when he can ruin a film. 12 Years a Slave, looking at you. But anyway, the filling is like the Brad Pitt, right? That's the star. But the bread is like the cameraman, the set designer, the lights guy, the catering, yeah, the fluffer. Maybe the fluffer. I don't know if they've got a fluffer. Brad Pitt ain't nothing without them guys. Do you know what I mean? Without cameraman, Brad Pitt's just some good-looking bloke. Yeah. Imagine if someone gave you a cheese and pickle sandwich but no bread on the plate. That doesn't even look like a meal. That's just that would just look like a leftover. And even like if the filling, sometimes fillings ain't all that. Like sometimes you'll get like, I don't know, like egg mayonnaise which ain't been seasoned nicely. That's poor. That's bad. Tuna mayonnaise which ain't been seasoned. Prawn mayonnaise. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this. So that's all I can think of at the minute is things that ain't been seasoned properly. But there's others, I'm sure. But even then, the bread, yeah, the bread will save it. The bread will be worth eating, even if the filling ain't. Even if the filling ain't showed up, right? The bread's got your back. Can we just appreciate all the different versions as well for a second? So you got sliced, yeah? You got unsliced. You got wraps. You got baguettes. You got sliced baguettes. You got bagels. You got muffins. Oh, microphone there. You got rye. Crusty rolls. You get non-crusty rolls. Paninis. Ciabatta. Well, I'm on a roll now. Sourdough. Olive bread. That's a bread. Crumpets. Are they a bread? Don't know. Let me know in the comments. They're a type of bread, I'm sure. There's flour and milk in it. And a rising agent. Right? Tiger bread. Oh my god. Tiger bread. Tiger bread. Jesus Christ. Tiger bread is like a baguette, but the crust is like turned up to 11. It's like it's like a Whisper Gold chocolate bar. You know them? So a Whisper Gold chocolate bar is as good as a Whisper, but it's better. So it's basically, it's already decent, but it's just better. God, a crust on the Tiger bread. So you're around someone's house and they're like, do you want a sandwich? You're like, yeah. And you say, oh, what sort of bread you got? Oh, if they said, oh, we got some Tiger bread, and you'd be like, ooh. It's definitely an ooh moment. Like, oh, I'll have a bit of Tiger bread, mate. You're treating me, ain't you? Somewhere where like bread isn't underrated, I've got to say, is Subway, right? Picking the bread at Subway, like Subway, no, like it's like the basically the show. It definitely ain't like the rough looking fillings. Some of the times them fillings do not look great, especially they've been sitting there a while. But the bread, freshly baked, smelling good, mate. It ain't the smell of the bacon or the peppers that get you into Subway, is it? It's the smell of the bread, mate. Hearty Italian, the other lot. There's like 3 others in there. Love it. I could eat like a Subway loaf just on its own. Just heat it up, mate, with a bit of butter. Oh, chuck some cheese on there, man. That's like a meal. So Subway, even though they are like, let's be real, in the world of fast food places, they are crap. Let's be honest. But they know the importance of good bread. And bread's so good, yeah. That's one of the reasons why when I've tried to lose weight, like I can't do the low carb or keto, whatever. The one basically, like, oh yeah, I've got this really good diet where you will lose loads of weight and you'll look amazing. I'm like, oh god, that's amazing, brilliant. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do for this diet? And they're like, oh, it's so easy, this diet, mate. It's so easy. Yeah, it's really simple. Don't have to worry about calorie count and weighing your food or anything like that. You just do one thing. I'm like, right, what is it? What is it, right? And they're like, you just don't eat carbs ever again. And I'm like, oh, like, that's bread, isn't it? And they'll be like, yeah. I'll be like, what? So the diet is I can never eat bread ever again. Yeah, that's a terrible diet. I'm gonna be honest. That is a terrible diet. Like, oh, yeah, I've got this great diet. You can just never eat bread, pizza, pasta, rice ever again. That's not a good diet. I'm sorry. Those are like the best food. Like pizza, I'm going to do a separate video about pizza because pizza needs its own video. But pizza is basically bread. Pizza is bread, but just leveled up. Pizza is bread leveled up. So that's not a good diet, and I couldn't do it. I don't care how much weight I'd lose. I couldn't do it. Now, a few years ago, I don't know how relevant it is now, but a few years ago, like a lot of people say, oh, I'm gluten intolerant. I'm gluten intolerant. Now, it turns out, they've done studies, I don't know if I'll link them, but they have, that way more people think they're gluten intolerant than they actually are. It is a thing, gluten intolerance, like, you know, gluten makes them fucked up and that, but it is way, people think that it is way more, and I think they're just overeating. They're like, oh yeah, I think I'm gluten intolerant. It's like, why is that? It's like, because the other day when I ate like 3 pizzas and 12 bits of garlic bread, I felt like really bloated and a bit sick. I don't know if that's the gluten, mate. It's probably like the 3 kilos of bread you done stuffed in your mouth, right? But like, I'm sure you had a good time. I'm not hating on you. But even if I, lover of bread, Barney, right? Even if I found out I was gluten intolerant, I would have to be really bad. Like literally, and I'm sorry if you've eaten or anything, but it would literally have to be I eat bread and I get horrendously bloated to the point where it feels like an alien's about to pop out my stomach, and then have 8 hours of the most horrendous diarrhea, which is like a burst water main of spillage. Only if the gluten reaction, intolerance, whatever, was that bad would I be like, oh, I'm going to give up bread. But if it's just like a bit of bloating for a few hours and a bit of... I'm still tucking in, mate. For me, it's worth it. Right? It's worth it, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care. I'll eat that bread now. I'm going to be out of action for a few hours, but this Papa John's stuffed crust, mate, or this Tiger bread ham and pickled cheese sandwich, it's going down. So yeah, this is just my homage to bread, really. It's well good. You know it's good. Don't sleep on bread. Like, it's always there. You always got it. You know what I mean? And yeah, so if you've got bread, butter, a couple of eggs, mate, that's a decent dish, mate. Yeah. Bread is good. We salute.